Hey guys, it is Saturday, March 5th, 2016, and this is, if I'm remembering correctly, this is the beginning of week 8. So we are 2 weeks out from our projected finish date. No, last week was 7, I think, because I just finished the videos for 5 and 6, and I haven't done the video for 7 yet, and that was the tile week. So week 8, because next week would be week 9, and the following week is the party. So yeah, that's it. We out of time. So obviously we're not going to be completely finished by the time Todd's party rolls around, and I've made my peace with it. It is what it is. Not gonna stress. However, I do require, and Todd agrees with me on this, that we at least have to have the bathroom functional. Functional means a wall up to block it from the, to separate the bathroom from the hallway and that little chunk of my office that's visible through the old doorway. And we have to have the commode installed, and preferably the sink as well, so people can wash their hands without having to go into the kitchen. And the rest of that is technically gravy. You know, there's other things we'd like to get done. Go ahead and get the light installed instead of being wedged, you know. Right now the beam that the light was attached to is still there, and we've just kind of wedged it between the hallway ceiling and the top of the pocket door frame. So yeah, we kind of want to get that put in place, and Todd is now working on installing the fan, or at least making a spot for the fan and getting it, because we can't see, there's a whole lot of, if we want to do this, then we have to do this going on right now, and we're getting into fiddly bits. Like, well, if we want to install the commode, which you see, hey, it's in place now, that's a bonus, but you know, there's some wall that would go behind there. And, you know, with the commode in place, it's going to be harder to put the wall in place. So, do we want to go ahead and, you know, once we get the, you know, plumbing and everything done for the commode, do we want to go ahead and put the wall up? Well, if we're going to put the wall there, then we've got the wall over here, and that has to be insulated, but you can't do any of that until you get the fan in place. And if the fan's going to go in place, then it's got to be wired in, so we're going to be doing electrical. So, okay, do we want to go ahead and rewire the overhead light and the switches, and move the outlets from, you know, where they're going to go? And yeah, it's very much, you know, if you give a mouse a cookie, he's gonna want some milk, or however that book goes. I don't know. I've never read that book. But I understand the general principle. No, there we go. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at this weekend. My goal is that we get the commode installed and hooked up, and the enclosing wall built. There are other things that have to be done to make those things happen, and so that's the power through part of this weekend. If we can get that done this weekend, then next week we can, you know, we've got to do some things. We've got, you know, got to do some things away from the house. So, whoops. So, yeah, so, I mean, we're just trying to get as much done as possible before the party. And then after that, it'll just be, okay, we just need to get it finished. It's no longer a time thing at that point. It's just let's get it done so that we can move on to, you know, working on the outside project, which is the driveway, fence, etc., which makes it possible to get a dog. Not that we haven't been looking already, but we almost got one, but then she was adopted before we could actually, like, act on it. So, meh. But we are on the hunt for that. But that's later. So yeah, away we work. It's kind of the scary part. We're having to, like, cut through the outside of the house. We're making a big hole in the outside. No! Alright. So you're going to try and drill it from the outside instead?
No, I'm going to do it from the inside, but I saw on the inside that it was too close to the beam I put in.
Oh.
So I'll need to do some from the outside. But
Oh, okay. Why not just do it all from the outside then?
Well, I don't want to do it all standing on this ladder.
Oh, well, fair enough.
It's a lot easier to do.
On normal ground. Okay, yeah. I gotcha. Yeah, it'll probably take about 3 coats.
Maybe even more.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the tub won't take as many because...
It's already white?
Yeah.
And it goes on really, really fine, so...
Yeah, I see that.
So a 3rd coat might be it.
I might even have to do the whole thing from that side.
Oh, because it... Oh, yeah. Yeah, because you can't get it flush.
Yeah. So
Well, what about... I don't know, is the Sawzall too...
It might be a bit overkill.
Okay. What are we doing?
Okay, so we're hooking up the cold water lines. Some of them I've already got kind of glued together, so this is already glued. So we put a little Teflon tape on there. And we've got all the lines all the way to the sink, to the commode, and for the bathtub, they'll just cap those off.
Okay. So what's the orange goo?
The orange is the cement for this type of pipe.
Oh, okay. So this is CPVC.
It's a CPVC, yes.
So what is the extra C for?
I believe it stands for chlorinated, which seems kind of redundant.
Since PVC is polyvinyl chloride, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. So that would make this chlorinated polyvinyl chloride, which, like I say, sounds kind of redundant.
But apparently it makes a difference.
But it makes a difference because this is suitable for potable water or drinking water, whereas the PVC generally is not.
Oh, okay.
Or at least the drain line PVC. It's not designed for potable water.
Right, which is why you can use it for drains, but not for supply lines.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
And while we're doing it, let's put some insulation on it.
This is what protects us from freezing, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And it looks like a small pool noodle, but it's got a split on along one side and some adhesive, some tape or glue, gummy bits, so that you can seal it up.
Yep.
I bet that's what they use for pool noodles. Same stuff.
I think this is a little bit softer. Because it seems, well, maybe not.
I don't know.
Yeah, I bet you're right.
I think that's a pool noodle right there. they just decided to market it.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a pool toy. Probably some plumber's kids were playing with it in the pool, and he got the idea to market it. I would not be surprised. I'll have to look it up on Wikipedia or something. Now, do you have stuff to go on? Oh yeah, because you do. You have stuff to go on the corners.
I didn't get any elbows, but
well, that wasn't smart.
Well, yeah, but I can always put those on later.
Yeah.
I figured I could make my own elbows, but the more I think about it, the easier it is.
Yeah. Those inside curves are not really going to be the easiest to deal with.
Okay. And let's get a little piece of stay. Strap here. Put that in place to hold it up.
I think it's going to need to be higher.
Yeah, it's only going to go up to the pipe, but
Okay.
did I bring the hammer down here? Yes, I did.
I have no idea. Oh, yeah. There it is.
Oh, I did. That's really trying to make sure I got everything I needed. Alright, so that just loops around there. Put this through a pair of the holes. Put that up through there. Didn't quite get it in straight, but
Doesn't really matter for this.
yeah. It's not like it's very heavy. So.
Right. It's just acting as a support.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've moved indoors again. We finished hooking up all of the supply lines to the hot and cold water for the tub and the sink, as well as the cold water supply for the commode. And now we're inside, and I say we, I actually did help down below the house. I cut stuff and handed stuff and trimmed stuff. But using actually that little tool that Todd's got right there, it's a really nifty little ratcheting like PVC cutter doohickey. But yeah, so now we're up here and Todd's finishing the inside part of the supply lines and putting the shutoff valves in place. And then once he just said that once he got the shutoff lines in place, then we can turn the water back on to the house and continue on with what we got to do. So you've got two there, and then the two,
Just one for the toilet.
or one for the commode.
Yep.
Right, because we're not ready to put the ones in for the tub yet, and
Tub is
so
capped off.
yeah, those are capped off. So we do not have to worry about water spewing under the house. Because, you know, we've been there, done that the first time we turned the water on here at the house. But, no, unfortunately we had one casualty. Or semi-casualty. We had an injury as I was crawling out from under the house. My phone fell. And I have dropped this phone so many times, you guys, and nothing has happened to it. But it fell face down on a brick. And yeah. So that's unfortunate. It still works. But it is a little treacherous because the first time I tried to swipe down the side there, a shard of the glass got stuck in my finger. So, yeah. And now once the shutoffs are in place, then you can, I mean, even though the water will be back on, you can actually fiddle with the rest of the supply pipes and stuff.
Yep.
Hooking up the commode and the sink.
As long as these are turned off,
Okay.
I can do all kinds of work on them, and
It won't be a problem.
won't be a problem.
Okay. Now, should we have cut the drywall for that already?
That's when we'll need to shut the water off, is because we'll cut a piece of drywall in there,
Okay.
and I'll need to just cut holes
Uh-huh.
so that those can fit.
Okay.
And I'll need to take the shutoff valves off in order to do that.
Right.
So we make smallest hole possible.
Right. So it's still Saturday.
Later in the day.
It's just later in the evening. And we have some drywall cut. And yes, I can really say we, because I helped. And now this is the drywall that's going to go behind the commode and in the opening to my office. And right now Todd is measuring and cutting the holes for the supply lines to come through. So, you know, that'll be all said and done. Now, the good thing about the internal walls is we do not have to do anything like, you know, insulating or anything like that. We just kind of have to put them in place, and then eventually they'll be taped and mudded and all that good stuff. But for now, we're just trying to get things in place. And then of the 4 sheets of drywall that we already bought, we should have enough left over. We have 2 full sheets and then pieces left over from these guys, and we should have enough to enclose the bathroom. At least, well, yeah, because we can, because we have to trim, but we should have enough of the excess to kind of go across the top. So we might actually be able to do it. We'll see. We'll figure that out soon, hopefully. And we also have, you can see the, we also have the vent placed. It's wedged into place. We have to get some screws to attach it to the outside of the house. But it is plugging that hole that we cut. So, all good. Well, it is Sunday, March 6th. And we didn't end Saturday quite as victorious as we thought we would. Despite being meticulous in our measurements and cutting of the drywall panels, they didn't fit the spaces because, as Todd pointed out, the drywall is square. The room is not. So we tried to kind of, you know, fit them in, but it was, you know, taking off little bits with a utility knife wasn't working so well. So instead, Todd waited until he could head out to Lowe's this morning and pick up a drywall saw, which... Alright, so this is what a drywall saw looks like. It looks like a really nasty knife. But yeah, it makes cutting through, you know, drywall a lot easier. And, ooh, look at those. And it won't, you know, kill like the blades of a regular saw would probably get worn down very easily. So yeah, so we have one of these now, and hopefully it will allow us to fit the bits into their spot. Now, we also learned something else, that we were doing drywall wrong. Despite it making absolutely perfect sense to take a 4x8 sheet and trim it down to fit a vertical opening, now apparently you're supposed to do it sideways and stack the panels on top of each other. Well, obviously we're not going to redo what we've already cut, but, and I still think that that sounds like more work than necessary, but there are reasons for that. Apparently it, you know, it goes perpendicular to the studs, kind of like when we were doing the floor and we had to, you know, go crosswise and then the other crosswise each layer. So, we'll figure it out. We also discovered that we did not, we missed a step when installing the, my monkey band-aid, when we installed the fan vent. There needs to be a piece of plywood between the clapboards and the exterior fan bit or vent bits so that it can sit more flush. So damn, gotta deal with that again. But oh well, it is what it is. We soldier on, and hopefully soon we will have the drywall in place for those 2 sections. We'll be able to turn the water back on and leave it on for longer than, you know, a few hours, and we'll have a somewhat working bathroom. It's a wall! Yay! Finally. Alright, guys. So yes, there is our little recessed niche that the sink and mirror and whatever else we do will eventually go in. And of course we still have to enclose the upper part, but because we don't have the vent in place yet, we're just, you know, it's just capped off up there. So we're just going to leave that open for right now. But then we'll put another bit of drywall over here to kind of enclose this corner. And then we can do the dividing wall. Yes? Mm-hmm. Please? Yep. After you get the fixtures hooked up? Mm-hmm. Yep. Ta-da!
We are now ready to install our commode.
Yay!
Jen is very happy about. Yes. So.
What? We bought a 2-bathroom house. I want to keep a 2-bathroom house.
All right. Got the flange in the floor that we've already plumbed in. Got the bowl for the toilet here. I already went in and put the seat on. Trying to get a little early there. Here we have the closet bolts. These are the bolts that hold the toilet down to the floor.
And they are called closet bolts because they used to refer to bathrooms as water closets?
That's correct.
Okay.
All right. Consists of those items there. These bolts go into these slots and slide over.
Okay.
That's why the heads are. So the heads go in here, and then that prevents the heads from coming back out.
Okay.
All right. These little plastic ones go on next, which hold the bolts in an upright position until you can get the toilet on. Then once you get the toilet on, you use the washers and the nuts to hold it down.
On the upside of
On the top side of the toilet, yes.
Of the base there.
Yep, so we're going to put that bolt in place.
And the clear plastic washer.
Which is,
difficult.
yeah, because it's obviously designed to...
Would it help to like try and, yeah, put that on there before you have to fiddle with it on the bottom.
At least get it most of the way down.
There you go. And now there's only 2 of them, even though there's 4 slots on the flange.
Yes, the flange is designed to...
work either way.
yeah.
Okay. But you have to make sure it's more or less north, south, east, west
Right,
kind
yeah.
of thing.
And I want that as a square where you're putting in your toilet. You don't want the bolts to come up right here because then they would come through, and you don't want that. So.
Okay. Come through where?
Come through the heads would come back up.
Oh, I see. They wouldn't.
And
They wouldn't be
hold the toilet.
secure.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Come
so
through what?
got those in place.
Okay.
The next step is normally you would put a wax ring on the bottom of the toilet. I do not. I'm trying something different here. We have a device. Acts as a wax ring. Is from Fluid Master.
Okay.
It's a toilet seal. It's got some nice soft foam rubber and some grooves here to catch water. So we're going to give that a shot instead of using a wax ring, messy wax ring.
Because the wax ring is like if you put the wax ring down and you set the toilet down and you realize that you have to take it up, you have to replace the wax ring, right?
Probably, yes. The wax is...
That's what I've always heard, is that the wax rings, they're a one-time use thing. You don't get a second shot with it.
Occasionally you can put more wax on it and get it to work, but yes, as a general rule, yes,
okay.
that is correct.
So this one allows you a little bit more flexibility.
Right, it can be taken off and moved around and removed and put back on.
Stabbed by a clamp in the neck.
So now we're ready to put the bowl in place.
Now, does it matter that it's not? Oh, okay.
The bolts will help.
Yeah, because right now it's not exactly meeting the tile. Is that normal?
Well, the seal there is
right.
not keeping it up. But
Excuse me.
once we put these on, that will help.
Uh-oh. That was not a good huh.
We may have to go with wax ring after all, because it is
Too high?
too high. Yep.
Maybe it's meant to work with like a flatter flange.
Yeah. Said it would work with this type flange, but well, okay.
Take 2?
We'll use the wax ring.
Now, did the commode come with one?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I don't expect we'll be moving the toilet anytime soon, so.
Preferably not. You said at most we might have to remove the tank so that we can get back there more easily to tape, mud, paint,
Right.
all that sort of thing. But no, the base is probably not going anywhere unless there's, knock wood, an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, tea. It brought it with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, watch out for my tile.
Okay, so this was moving on me, I could tell, so I need to push that down further. Alright, well, we will.
Try the wax ring.
Yep.
That looks almost as thick.
Yeah, but it will smash.
Okay.
Easy. Much easier than the.
I was about to say, so that other one was supposed to smash too.
Yeah, but.
Now, when we pulled up the old commode, it was like this big, like, flat pancake. Is that what that's going to turn into?
Yes.
Oh, okay, wow. No wonder you only get one shot there, or so.
Alright, now I need to turn the toilet over.
Okay, careful. Oh my god.
Position the wax ring in place.
And kind of let it stick to it. Oh, wow. It's already kind of... Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
I can't reach my tile.
Yep.
And your back.
Alright, I'll try this again now. Lots of covers that the well, these are what the covers will snap onto.
Right. Now, would you normally like caulk or seal along the bottom edge?
Yeah,
just in case?
We'll put a bit
or...
of caulk along there.
Okay.
Once we get it in place. And
I didn't know if that was normal or not.
still square. Okay.
Yep.
Squarish.
Well,
Okay.
as square as anything in this house.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good. I mean,
Yeah. I was lining up with the tile. So
yeah.
With the tank, there is a foam rubber
Gasket. Okay.
That goes right here.
Uh-huh.
It seals between the tank and the bowl.
Okay.
And then there are a pair of bolts here as well. Bolts with rubber washers. Rubber washers go on the inside of the tank to prevent it from leaking, and then these are on the bottom to keep it tight and in place.
Okay.
So put this right on here. Good. And since this is easy to twist, it's you can just do it hand tight. And then we'll
Bring that little dude
over to here. This do need to use a wrench. Alright. Nice and snug.
Okay.
And that's everything, other than the tank lid.
Tank lid.
Because I've already got the seat in place, because the seat.
Right.
So, got that. So, just give it a shot.
Uh-huh. We have water. No drips.
No leaks anywhere. That's good.
No, not that I can tell. I mean, it's cold, but I don't think it's wet.
Well, we'll keep an eye on it for the next day, just to make sure.
Yeah. Ta-da! Functional once again.
I just need to cut those bolts off and
Yep.
put the
Okay.
caps on. We're good to go.
Don't look now, folks, but it's a wall. Well, it's part of a wall, but it's a very important part of a wall. So I'm happy. I'm really happy. You're not going anywhere now. Okay, so this is from inside the bathroom. What you're seeing is through the invisible wall into the pocket door in its open position. And the drywall doesn't go all the way up to the ceiling, so we will have to run a strip at the very top there, and actually piece in a little bit over the doorway too, in order to fully enclose it. But still, we are miles away. Better than we were about 10 minutes ago. So yeah, it's Thursday, March 10th, and those gaps that I keep complaining about letting the cold in and heat out, yeah, now Mother Nature has flipped the switch, and it's opposite now. But Todd is finally at a spot where he can start to fill in those gaps and kind of take care of a few odds and ends on the list, and then, you know, maybe get to this other invisible wall here. I know, shut up about the damn wall, right?
When you cut into floor and hit tile, it makes sparks.
Okay. Nobody but us and whoever watches this on YouTube will see.
Oh, just 100 million people. You know.
We don't have that many views. And hey, the commode is no longer sitting in the library, which is kind of amusing since that's what some people call the bathrooms, the library.